Harry and Meghan are returning to the UK, not just for a week, not just for a couple of days, but for an extended period of time. And more than that, they're bringing Archie and Lilibet back to the UK, and they are enrolling them in schools in Britain. Harry and Meghan got a house. They've got a place for their two children. They've got a plan. We're not sure how long this plan is going to last for. We know that they're coming back for an extended period of time, we're told, but we don't know how long it's going to be for. They will still keep their house in Montecito, but in all intents and purposes, a large chunk of what we called Megxit in 2020, where the couple were to disappear and go off to America, that's now over. Harry and Meghan are now coming back to the UK. They'll be coming back at the end of August. So if you look at the date now, in a couple of days, a week, 10 days, Harry and Meghan will be landing here in the UK to basically start a new life. There's probably more things that we don't know about this return than we do know. We don't know the schools the children are going to. We don't know how long they're going to be here for. We don't even know where they're going to live. The only thing we do know about the property is that it's not a royal property. So do not expect Harry and Meghan, Archie and Lilibet to be living in a royal palace. It almost seems to me that they have come up with this idea relatively recently. I mean, when we look back, Harry he has stopped slagging off the UK and the royal family a couple of years ago, but we never really thought that this would actually happen. He was back here just a couple of weeks ago, and he got to meet the King at Highgrove. He got to bring Archie a little bit over, and during that time, there was a lot of friction between the royal family and Harry, between the working royals, the King and Camilla and Harry, over his accommodation plans, or his plans to stay at Buckingham Palace. He really did test the King's patience over that. And in just a short period of time, we're talking a matter of weeks, we've gone from Harry and Meghan, who were telling everybody that they were unable to return to the UK and bring Meghan and the children here because it was unsafe, to bringing Meghan and the children over here for a couple of days, although be it we didn't actually see them in public. And now all of a sudden, what we're seeing here is they're actually enrolling their children in schools and have a home, and for all intents and purposes, they are now to live in the United Kingdom, which is an extraordinary sentence. I don't think it's a sentence I would ever find myself saying, particularly this year, particularly their close association of all the works they have out there with their video projects that they still have big plans for, and also for Meghan's as ever. Never in a million years did I think I'll be uttering the words saying Harry and Meghan are moving back to the United Kingdom together with Archie and Lilibet. Well, 6.5 years ago, we had what the Sun dubbed as Megxit. And just a couple of weeks after that, Harry filmed himself on his phone, which we later saw in a Harry and Meghan documentary, calling it his freedom flight. This was what they described as freedom. They were getting away from what Harry had called a cycle of genetic pain. He wanted to break this cycle that he didn't like. He complained that being in the royal family was like being in a zoo, like being in the Truman Show. He wanted to get away. There was even a book about it called Finding Freedom. The couple went to America. They signed megabucks deals because they weren't allowed to sign these megabucks deals when they were working royals. They stopped being working royals and moved away to America so they could sign these deals. They had their Netflix show. Harry brought out his book Spare. They said so much they went on Oprah Winfrey. They carried on doing all these podcasts, all these shows. Meghan did her certain Netflix shows which not many people enjoyed, and there was a varying degree of success with Meghan's shows, but their life was in California. Everything was about California. As Ever was even set up originally. It was named after the area where they lived, American Riviera Orchard. It was all about California. They were going to red carpets in Jamaica, into New York, into red carpet events in California and in Los Angeles. Their life was all about the USA for the last 6.5 years. Now, I cannot sit here and truthfully tell you what has made them change their minds, but they are, after everything we've heard of the last 6.5 years, how much they didn't like living in the UK, how they felt unappreciated, how the newspapers and the press and everyone was so horrible to them. They even had a whole episode in the Harry and Meghan documentary that criticised Britain and the Commonwealth, calling it Empire 2.0. They're back. Look, there are several things that need to be worked out for Harry and Meghan's return. One of them is their role within the royal family. The other one is their security. I'll touch on security first because Harry has fought a 2-3 year multi-million-pound legal case to get the return of his armed taxpayer-funded security. Now, taxpayer is the most important word here because he wants you, me, the British taxpayer, to pay for his armed security. He only gets that if he's a working royal. Now, what role will he have? We don't know. We don't know if that's been returned. We know that earlier this year they were due to have meetings with Rabeck and with the government for Harry to get a new security review. That didn't take place. We do not know if that security decision banning him from having taxpayer-funded security has been overturned or not. Hopefully we might find out soon, but at the moment we don't know, although I'm told there currently isn't a financial burden on the taxpayer for Harry's security. What's going to happen with Harry now? He's coming over, he's living here, we know that he wants to get involved in royal duty. This is up in the air. And I don't think we will have a situation where the royal family will cave in and say you can have a half in, half out working royal role. I don't think they will ever allow that. But what does it mean for Harry? He currently is not funded by the sovereign grant. He currently does not have money from taxpayers, effectively from taxpayers. Sovereign grant comes from Protestant Crown Estates. Is very complicated, but it's effectively our money. He's currently not funded by it, and he earns external money from books and from TV shows. So the most interesting aspect, the most unanswered question that we currently have at the moment is financially, will we end up in a situation where Harry is earning money as a working royal? Currently, when he lands and he puts his children into school, and for the first couple of months, however long they are here, he will not be half in, half out royal. He will not have written the terms of Megxit. He won't be funded by taxpayers through the sovereign grant. I've been reporting on the royal family for 6.5 years, and they've never failed to surprise me, and I never rule anything in, never rule anything out. But the idea that Harry and Meghan would suddenly decide to return to the United Kingdom after bleating so much about how much they enjoy life in the United States and about how much they despised living and working in the United Kingdom, I never thought there would be such a reversal, such a turnaround. But I'm mostly intrigued as to try and work out why. Why now? Why have they suddenly decided, here we are in August, that they're going to come back to the United Kingdom and effectively, not fully rewrite Megxit, but chip away at some of the terms? What's gone wrong in the USA? Why do they need to be here in the UK? And I'm most fascinated by seeing the reaction of the British public when they might see Meghan turn up at an event, or they might see Harry come out on some more of his engagements, knowing that he is now no longer a US-based royal, but a British-based royal again.